and welcome from wherever in the world you're watching or listening to us. Thanks for being a valued part of the Great British Mickey Waffle. Today, we take you on a journey into another dimension of the senses that are thrilled by any trip to Disney, a scintillating sensory scent overload of smells that will very possibly fill your mind and certainly a conversation for the next hour. I'm sure your favourite will be there. So come and join us and welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle live.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
I tell you what, that was a mouthful of an intro, wasn't it? Like, do you hear me? Yeah.
Tongue twister galore.
Yeah. When you only got half a tongue, that's quite a tricky thing, Ben. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm going to do something before we start. I'm going to say, make sure if anyone hasn't listened to our new podcast, right? It's only been out a couple of days. I know it's about D23, but it goes beyond everything else, and it's a massive show. It's about it's a 2-hour epic, right? And I don't usually listen back to shows that go out, but since I was enjoying that lovely bit of jet lag that was kicking in on Sunday night, so I ended up listening to it, and I ended up thinking, oh my word, if I was on the show, it would have been a 3-hour show rather than just a 2-hour one. But there's so much in it. It's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, there's a lot of controversial stuff in there. So go and listen to it. That's my plugging bit done. My sort of prowess on the cornhole tossing. Championship firmly in the bag. It's good to be back. That's all I'm going to say. That's my final word, right, Claire. I shall leave that challenge with you until the next time I pass across in Florida.
Fair enough.
This has to be a yearly event, I think. I think whoever's out there during the summer should take on the challenge of cornhole.
It was great. It was such a good fun, and I've got to say, it was such a brilliant thing to be able to do. So anyway, and
neither of you were competitive at all.
Not at all.
No, and not when you got a families who are competitive in which order they get chosen as well.
That's true.
That was a highlight of the afternoon. Yeah. I'll leave it there, Claire. I won't risk Mo not talking to me ever again. Anyway, I was going to say it's good to be home, but it's not. It's just not. I actually.
It's
prefer...
great to have you back on the show, John, on a Wednesday.
Well, thanks, Ben. I would much rather be doing it from Orlando. I found a spiritual home. What I would say is the fact that after all this time of not being there, the actual buzz that you get, just personally, and just that whole, it's been really funny because I know, is it Sean, who normally watches the show? I know we've just watched his travel day. Anna, who always watches and listens to us.
She's there.
And they're getting the same experience, and everybody does. And it's just like, it's not about the parks. It's not about anything in particular. It's about just being there. Because I was speaking to a friend who's going on Friday at the football last night. And so Simon turned around and she said, it's just like, you just cut off. In fact, it was his wife who said it. You just shut down from everything else in life. And you are in this encased bubble where nothing else matters whatsoever, apart from just going and having fun. And there's so few places left in the world that you can actually do that. So
just shut off and not worry about it.
I thought you were going to tell me to shut up.
Well, I know we've got friends in the chat who are here to talk about smells.
Yeah,
yes, very much so.
Right, and it's not the smell. It's not the smell that I experienced as I was leaving Orlando Airport.
Did we have that on the list? The smell of Orlando Airport.
I put it there. good grief, the amount of it was the smell of sweaty trainers and sweaty socks.
It's the smell of the carpet, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea, Ben, but it was rank.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it must be the only airport that's got a carpet on a bit where everyone's taking their shoes off.
Yeah.
But we're gonna stay on the positive side.
Yeah.
We're not gonna talk about that negative smell. Otherwise, we'll get ourselves into trouble. Go on,
I was
Becca.
going to ask whether it smelled worse than mouth gear, but
Or the monorail.
I've got to say,
Hold fire on those ones.
Yeah, I've got to say the monorail actually wasn't smelling too bad this summer.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Which one were you on?
I must have been the right one then.
The one that was freshly refurbished.
So every time we got on the monorail,
Yeah.
usually early in the morning, and Millie said to me, "This smells like the school farm." Every day. They have a farm at school and they have pigs in a sty, and she said it smells like the school farm, and it does. So there you are. Now we know what the monorail smells of.
I must just be.
Perfect comment to go along with that. So many great smells at Disney.
Right?
The farm smell on the monorail.
Oh, I tell you what, is that Joe Logan that's in the chat as well. So can I just say, Joe, a massive thank you. He put a comment in our lovely Facebook community, the Wafflers Arms, and he actually probably wins an award for the most iconic smell that probably nobody's ever thought of trying to replicate, because they can't, for a candle, a room scent or whatever. But it's like the orange grows of Horizons, and whilst he says that we probably don't remember it, it's the very fact that anyone remembers Horizons. Now, in the chaos that is ensued my evening, I usually would go and wear my Horizons t-shirt. So Joe, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out in the future. I'll wear my Horizons
I
t-shirt.
thought you meant you were going to strip off
No.
and put it on now.
I should do.
Show?
I know where it is, but I just haven't had the minutes to do it. But anyway, maybe the Mighty Horizons might be where some of this sensory overload actually started. So that's where we're going on this, because I think this could be a really amazing show.
Go on Horizons.
yeah, never did it.
No, it's just like, but it's one of those things that you always think should go back into Epcot. Just like people are getting excited just now because they've taken that facade away from Test Track, and people are in their own mind are reimagining the front of Test Track, just like World of Motion used to be, and things like that. And it's just like everyone's doing it.
The cars coming around the front.
Yeah, it's just like it's really, really bizarre.
Who knows?
It really is.
I can't wait to see the finished product of that, because it looks so
quite
good.
cool as it does now. It's
Yeah. Joe, the shirt, as you mentioned in the chat, it's basically the old poster. I nicked a really high quality of the poster, and I've made a few t-shirts of some of those nice Epcot posters. Just saying, send me a PM if you want. But hey ho. Right, so we're talking about smells, and this actually could be a show where I think for all of us, and I think certainly for me in particular, I've just become very aware since I've come home that it's dark really early. And so it happened all of a sudden. So if you look at the shows before I left a holiday, on holiday, it was always light when we did the show.
it was light till like 9:30 at night, and now I'm looking at you.
Yeah,
It is
pitch black.
It's
Yeah.
dark.
And flows in the
not
US,
okay. I'm not ready
it's
for
20
this.
to 9 in the evening.
Yeah,
I am
It's
not
late.
ready for this.
but I only became aware of it last week, and it was Fantasmic. The change in time of Fantasmic
Yeah.
slipped from 9 till 8:30, and I'm thinking, we're gonna watch it in the daylight, and then all of a sudden it was like pitch black, and you're like, well, there you go.
No daylight.
It's nearly September.
It's
I
one
think
of
that's
those
it.
moments you walk into a shop and it's bright sunshine, and then it's night time.
You come back out and it's dark.
It's like, how long did I spend in the Emporium?
Yeah.
It's been in there for minutes, I swear.
Yeah.
And you still
Still
get your
cost me
sunglasses.
$300.
Still get your sunglasses on as you walk out. Like, whoa!
Yes.
That amazing
dear.
Florida sunset.
Yeah. Right. So I'm gonna start with a question for you guys, because actually this is probably putting you all on the spot as well. So if we're talking smells, we're keeping it to Disney smells. that are intentionally put there. I think we might, yeah, you don't want, yeah, let's not go there. So what are your particular favorites? And you can only choose one, because we'll come back to this later in the show, but you've got one to start us off.
Okay.
If you are
first.
in the chat and you haven't taken part in the poll that's on the Wafflers Arms, or even if you have, let us know in the chat what your favorite smells are, because actually it'll add to the show as well. Go on, Claire, where are you starting with?
No, I'm sorry. I was just reading a thing about the Horizon shirts. Maybe So Tiki could make Horizon shirts.
Oh.
Just thinking.
Yeah.
Throwing that out there, Robin.
Talking of Robin, I was going to say, does the show include smells of your armpits after 5 hours and 35 degrees?
Is that Robin?
Also known as the
Or is
monorail
that
smell.
Simon? Who knows? It could be either.
Yeah,
That's true.
let us know whether it is Robin or Simon. It could be quite an interesting experience, that.
So I'm going to give you my most iconic Walt Disney World smell. I thought it was Simon. Robin wouldn't be quite so coarse, I don't think. And I'm going to give you the answer that Millie gave me. So I was getting ready to come and do the show,
Yeah.
and I asked her what was her most memorable smell in Walt Disney World. And she's looked at me and she went, "Well, that's obvious." I said, "Oh, is it?" Like, stupid woman. The smell of popcorn when you come under the train station in Magic Kingdom. Number one.
There you go.
First,
It's
the
just the
first
first one
thing
that
you
hits
smell.
you and just...
There you go. End of show. See you later, guys. That's it. We'll see you
Mic
next
drop
week.
by the 11-year-olds, right?
Okay, popcorn.
The popcorn smell, and I'm going to be controversial here. I have never ever purchased popcorn in a Disney park. Ever. So I say never from like normal popcorn. When we
And
on
you
our
call
last...
me tight.
So
No,
no,
I
I'll be
get
honest. The last day we were there in the summer, we went into the confectionery, and Millie got one of those absolutely disgusting popcorn tubs. You know, the one with the triple layers with like the M&Ms and the drizzle and all of.
I've had
All
one
the
of those.
chocolate and all the...
I'll be honest, it's a really good, if you've got an annual pass or any sort of discount, it's a fantastic price for a fantastically massive, disgusting ball of sugar.
Yep.
It was under $10 for this crazy big thing of popcorn.
That's
But
all right.
excluding that, like normal popcorn from a cart,
Yep.
I have never, ever purchased popcorn in a Disney park.
Wow.
Ever.
You
I always
missed
love
out.
that. I love popcorn, and I always think, oh, I'd really eat some popcorn, and they'll be like, oh no, I'm going to go and do so and so, or I'm going to get a coffee, or I'm going to go and have dinner or something.
Yeah.
There's another
And I
snack
just-
or something that...
Right, and
Just
I'm not
diverts
someone
you.
I don't really snack, so I'm going around the park. So I was
Yeah.
like, every time I go there, I think, oh, I should get some popcorn while I'm watching the parade, and then I'm like, no, I can't be bothered. So maybe I'm missing
the smell
out. Is
is
Disney
there.
popcorn all that? It smells amazing,
Yeah.
and I don't know if
It
that's
is
the genuine
nice.
smell or is it a manufactured smell.
I'm quite fussy with popcorn. It depends on where I'm getting it from.
I think
Because
it's
sometimes
buttery,
I've had
isn't
it, it's... Some of it isn't. So
Oh.
it
Yeah.
depends on where you go. Some of it
Yeah.
has been stale. We've had some stale popcorn
have.
before. But
Ooh,
a
nice.
good,
That would ruin it for me.
trick is getting it for Fantasmic. So we'll
'Cause
go
it's
to Hollywood
fresh.
Studios,
Yeah.
fresh
Okay.
butter popcorn.
See, butter popcorn I love, and I just think if I got a bad
Can't beat
popcorn, that would ruin it for me forever. I wouldn't ever be able to smell it like the nice popcorn smell and be like, oh, it smells like popcorn.
And if you can, don't get it out of the pre-made boxes.
No,
yeah,
it's
why
got
did
to be
you
fresh.
From the cart.
Got to be fresh.
They're-
So there you are. That was Millie's mic
That's-
drop smell.
I'm impressed. Yeah, and having met Millie on holiday, I can actually understand where she gets this absolute ability to just come out and just completely read the room so well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got to say, yeah, and thank you, Millie, for the little Ted Lasso hat and things like that. I really appreciate it. I like that.
Yeah.
So, what was yours then, Claire? That was Millie's. What's yours?
Oh no, I was happy to take that, but
Oh, you're taking that. Okay, that's fine.
I'll take the glory from her.
Right, Becca, what about you?
Caramel Coocher.
Oh, the caramel shop in Epcot.
Caramel shop in Epcot.
Oh, hey, I tell you, wow, that's a
So you get smell and taste.
I get smell and taste.
wow. Hey, that's
I love the smell of that shop.
Apologies
That
to anyone in the chat that's
that
joining
didn't-
in, and
Yeah.
you might need a snack for
hungry.
tonight. Yeah.
Did we warn people you might be hungry?
Yeah, they're sending out for the Werthers already. That's it. That's
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
really good. I like that.
I grew up eating Weathers originals, so
Yeah.
it's just a throwback to this childhood smell of Weathers originals.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
hungry now, and I can't wait. I'm so glad
I'm
that we put
really,
today
really
in
need to get some
Epcot.
Weathers originals.
Go on, Ben.
Go on,
What
Ben.
about you?
For me, I'm going to a resort. And for me, it is the Grand Floridian. There's just something about the smell. And when you walk in, I remember the first time I walked in the Grand Floridian and I felt really out of place. We were staying off site and we thought, oh, we'll walk from Magic Kingdom, let's have a look at this resort. And not knowing anything about it, stepped in, the smell hit me. And I was like, I felt really out of place for being there. And the more times I've visited, the more times I thought, oh, actually, I could stay here. And we have. And it's just, there's something about that smell that is very similar to a lot of the other deluxe resorts. But I love it around Christmas because you get gingerbread as well.
Oh, it kind of fills the whole of that atrium as well. It's absolutely amazing.
I think we'll come back to resort smells.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that everyone in the chat's got their favourite resort smell.
Oh my word, yeah.
What about you, John?
See, I've thought about this. And actually, I can't get beyond. It might take a little bit of time, Ben, for me to replace my favourite with the Grand Flow. Now, we were fortunate enough to stay there. Just only, see, look at that. First time ever, a couple of weeks ago. But I'm going to go for the Autumn Beach Club because actually we used that as a drop-off and a pick-up place for Uber when we were using it at Epcot for a couple of drinks, etc., for Josh's birthday. But you know, when you walk in somewhere, and the first time we walked in, and we were coming out of Epcot, and the aircon had been going. It must have been time of day or whatever, but the doors were open, and there was no smell. And we were really, you know, when you're like, this is. I felt robbed. And so
Like it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
It's my smell.
I was just like, you're expecting to just be hit by this wall of the beach club.
Oh no!
And so you walk, and I'm like, and admittedly we were in a hurry. I've got to say, because we'd ordered an Uber and we'd actually got a real, we got the Uber just before the price surge started after the end of the fireworks. We timed it perfectly. So we've got a bit of it. We've got a bit of a walk on, and then we're walking. No smell. That's wrong. And then a couple of days later, we came the other way, and then we walked in through the front door. And you're just like, it's just like, just absorb. It's just like,
it doesn't matter where you go. You just
Fill
walk
you-
in, and
oh,
you're just
it's
like,
just
you're
amazing.
just going to breathe in that smell.
Yeah. And that, when we came home, I actually looked through the amount of scented candles that we've got in stock, because I generally try to keep a little selection on the go. And we'll probably talk about others as I go, but I know I've got 2 beach club ones that will see me through at least the next few weeks of just probably the whole house will be smelling. It's just like,
By the time they've gone, you'll have booked another trip.
I tell you what, I hope so, Claire. I'm not quite sure yet, but
I'm
if
just
I win the lottery.
I'm just looking in the chat, and Joe Logan has said that the Polly had a great smell when it had the giant water feature inside. I agree, Joe.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was there, we went for breakfast at Kona Cafe twice, and the second time we were there, we were stood upstairs, and I took a little video of the lobby, and I uploaded it to my TikTok, and I was like, I love the lobby at Polly, but I loved it more when there was a waterfall because of the sound, because of the smell.
Yeah,
I think it was just also you get that slight chlorine smell from the water as well.
It's just, I don't know what it was.
Just whether it complements the rest of the smells.
Yeah, the mixture of the lobby smell and the water.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful, and I think that the lobby smell is amazing, but I do miss the water.
I used to have in all the bathrooms.
Yes, like the almondy smell. It was like almost like a marzipan-y smell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it really weird though? Because actually, when you walk into somewhere like the Poly, and everyone has their own different memories that they attach to the smell as well. And I think this is going to be part and parcel of this show, because you kind of, it doesn't matter how long ago it was, it's etched in the back of your mind. And this is a bit where, I was sat trying to prepare for the show last night and the night before, and it's just like, it's amazing. Just each of these smells, it doesn't matter if it's a resort, whether it's a ride, you anticipate them before you get to them. And to do that, I think that's just, it's a quite an incredible way of not just Imagineering, but also of just building that whole momentum towards what you're actually experiencing.
It's all that association for. And I remember when we went on the UK Disney cruise, the staycation. Obviously, we hadn't been to Florida in a little while, but we stepped on the Magic, and all I could smell was something that smelled something very familiar, and it just reminded me of Walt Disney World, and it was just something. It just reminded me of just those memories of being there. And obviously, it helps being on a Disney cruise, that smell, and it's just that association just transports you straight back there.
It is. Can I also just mention as well? I think I missed it in the chat as well earlier. Laura was in the chat, but we got to meet Laura and her family in Epcot last week.
Cool.
And they were, but they were walking round one way, and we were walking the other way last Thursday, and it was just like, there you go.
I was going to say, John, I think, wasn't it last Thursday? It felt like you were having your own meet and greet. Every few hours, there was like another picture with someone else.
It was, the whole trip was like that, Ben. And we'll come to that another show or whatever. But yeah, Laura, it was such a delight meeting you, and we really appreciate you actually joining the show and being such a fan of the show. And I hope you put your beer mat somewhere nice as well. I hope. There you go.
John and his beer mats.
I tell you what, Claire.
I know.
Everyone wants to. We've got people out there. We've got cast members from different shows, different rides. They are now they're being used as an additional currency at Walt Disney World. Yeah,
What's it worth, a turkey leg?
I know. But actually, Laura mentioned the Riviera, and I know we said I'd come back to the resorts. I actually think the Riviera smell is probably one of the best. It's quite overpowering when you first walk into the Riviera lobby. And Anna and I, when we were there in December, we went for breakfast at Topolino's on our last morning, and Anna hadn't been to the Riviera, I don't think, not for a while anyway. And we walked in and we both went, oh, that smell. I know, I was super excited anyway. So we got back and I bought her some wax melts of the Riviera smell for Christmas. And they were really, really good ones. I cannot remember which company they came from, but they were absolutely on the money. And every time I melt them, I'm just like, I'm taken back to that moment. Yeah. And I think that's what you're talking about, John. It's just another layer of memory making. And I think, the smells are really, really evocative and emotive as well. And like some smells, I think about certain things and I can smell the smell even though I'm there. I look forward to the day when Apple invents the smell-o-vision photos on your iPhone, and you can photo and you get the smell as well. That's
could you imagine how good this show would be if YouTube,
the old scratch and sniff cards they used to send out.
if YouTube could just be like, was it Philomagic? When you get that little scent that just comes out every time we mention something.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
I'm just imagining Apple have got their Vision Pro headset.
Yeah,
so you can walk into the Magic Kingdom and have popcorn.
So cool.
You can
give it 10 years, it'll happen.
I'm not getting on the monorail though.
Can we just put a trademark on it now in case we can get our 10% for that as well?
What are those water bottles? The air up water bottles where they have the smell.
Yeah, the filters that are on the top of the flavour.
Won't be be able to get them.
Oh,
yeah. If you could get a cinnamon apple pie one, you could watch Magic on YouTube and that would be cool.
I think there's loads. Yeah. Let's shall we? I'm just aware because of the way that we kind of go off topic. The danger is this
topic.
Well, we have been on topic, but I just know we can end up going right into resorts and stuff like that. or we can talk about rides. Let's bring it back to what started all this, and I think we put a poll in the Waffler's Arms.
We did. I've
And-
got it in front of me.
Have you? That's good. You're better than I am because I'll if
I
you
keep losing it.
I'll click. I'll try and find it now because.
So there's 2 front runners.
Oh, 2! Wow, last time I looked, there was only 1.
Yeah, they're very much equal, but they're both attraction smells actually.
Okay.
One is the Soaring Californian Orange Groves
Okay.
Yeah.
from Soaring over California, which is sadly departed Walt Disney World again now. It was there for a little while and it's gone. And then the other one is in Spaceship Earth, the burning of the
Okay.
Alexandria.
All right.
Ooh.
Those are our
Okay.
2 front runner smells, which surprised me.
Same here.
I'm really surprised that there's
I'm not
no.
surprised about the orange groves from Soaring.
I'm sorry, Spaceship Earth confuses me.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a memorable
iconic. We
smell.
didn't say the nicest. We just
No,
said
Yeah.
the most iconic.
But yeah, that's a good point.
I think
Not a
as
terrible
well.
smell, to be fair.
No,
It
it's
No.
smells like a bit of a bonfire, which I quite like the smell of a bonfire. So
But it's similar to that smell in Pirates as well. So when
Yeah.
you get to that the fire scene in
Oh,
Pirates, it's exactly the same smell. So
Although the Pirates one seems to be preceded by bubblegum at the moment, which is
yes,
strange.
that's what I was about to say.
how
I'd never noticed that previously.
I really noticed that this time. Every
Yeah,
single
I
time
did.
I wrote it, I was like,
Yeah. I was
that's
trying
a
to
new
figure out.
one.
Yeah, but I was trying to figure out what it was, and whether it's like is it trying to be like sort of cleansing the air?
Do you think they just
So
ran out
you-
of the smell and we've got left bubble gum?
It's,
Don't know.
It's the scene where red isn't
Yeah.
who wants the redhead anymore, and then the
Yeah.
second bit after that where they're doing the
Yeah.
chasing round.
Yeah,
Before you go under the bridge, that smells like bubblegum, which is
Yeah.
really, really odd.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye out.
Really
I'm gonna
odd.
have to give it
Yeah.
out.
it was distinctly different from memory, and I think that was one. I think I would also say, going on the same one, that with Soaring, you can't really just choose one scent, and possibly for the poll, if we'd included, I think Laura had mentioned about the saltwater smell when you're into that Fiji area. I think probably Soaring's probably the one that's got probably the most different candles that you can buy for as well. I must admit.
One for every scene.
Yeah, and it's kind of quite, for me, it's kind of quite a bizarre one because when you think of it as a ride, it's so simple, and yet the actual sensory part of it you're in absolute overload. Be it from things coming towards you on the screen that always make you sort of jittery and you want to move away. So you've got that part of it. You've got the bit because you're up high, which for some people makes people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you've also got the music going on, which is absolutely amazing. And then you've got the smells. And it's just like how you can make such a simple film into something that is, the only thing I'm trying to compare it against something. When you look at
thing that reminds me of, or
Yeah.
not, is Pandora Flight of Passage, because
That's-
it's
Emily's
the only
just
one
said she
that,
hates the smell of it.
yeah,
see, that's really weird. I love the smell of that, but
Yeah.
and I think that's what's really interesting.
yeah, I love the smell of Pandora, and yet when you buy a candle, trying to replicate it, it smells really soapy and sickly.
Sometimes it's
and
close, but sometimes it isn't.
yeah,
Depends
Yeah.
which one you
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
it's really odd. It's again, are they being clever and trying to make something that is not able to be replicated? That might be
Maybe it's just
That
something
might
that's more difficult because
I might be overthinking it, but it's just like
Maybe atmosphere and feelings affect the smell. Well,
Yeah.
the fact
maybe
that
everyone
you're there
has that different,
and, you
slight
don't
different
remember it in
smell.
the same
of
way
it.
because of you're not in the same place. Perhaps.
Yeah.
That's how I would interpret it.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I think that the smells. No surprise, I know I've said it before. Soaring is not my favourite ride, for many reasons. I love the music and I love the smells.
Yeah.
But those transitions that make you wince, I can't deal with. And I had a very interesting experience when I did do soaring once on our trip, and I had the pleasure of sitting between my daughter and nice guy Zach Brown, and I basically looked at my knees the whole time because I'm scared of heights. So, and it was awesome. It was probably my most brilliant experience on soaring from start to finish, because Zach did an entire audio description of the entire ride from start to finish in only the way that Zach Brown could. At the moment there was here's Free Willy. So to try and keep me calm. Bless him.
I love
It
that.
was
Ben,
hysterical.
you might need to just edit that bit out. That could make the blue
The transcription.
that could make the bloopers real. I'm sure
It was.
if Robin's listening,
I just realised
if
what that
Robin's
sounded like.
listening to that, Robin's going to be giggling like mad.
But yeah, my experience on soaring, I love the smells. I think that that Californian orange grove, although it's not in the new soaring over the world.
Yeah.
I wish it was. Why can't they just add a little bit where you go over the orange groves and stick that in?
I really don't understand, and this is just soaring in general. They've got 3 screens. Can't they just have one as the original, and just be a random one? Because I love the original.
Just don't make it random every time. They managed to do it with Star Tours.
Well, there are 50 different versions.
Yeah. I've got to admit. I know Neil and Karen are out there just now. Neil and I had this chat a few years ago. Because boring old blokes in the pub having a pint and stuff like that before you go to football. And I think I said this in one of our very early podcasts. I'm sure people were looking at us thinking we were off our heads at the footy, and we were talking about being in Disney and things like that. But it was at the time where it had just changed, and what our plan was, why not just randomize it? Yeah. So.
Oh yeah,
you don't know. You don't know which one you're going. Yeah, don't know which one you're going to, and it could be. It's just like take your pick. Yeah, I'm sure the computer system must be there to do it.
There's probably elements of the smells that prevent it from happening like that, actually, because they've got to load up the whatever the canisters.
I know. Yeah. Let's not think about practicalities, Claire. Let's get carried.
California.
Yeah.
What else was on the poll? What else was on the poll? Your Josh mentioned that earthy smell during the elephant scene of soaring.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't remember an earthy smell, but Josh did.
Yeah, there is. And actually, it's not one of the most pleasant ones. And I did say to him that if he wants, I'll go and dig a bit of the back garden. I'll put it in a cup. He can take it back to uni with him. And he'll see what it'll smell like after a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that'll be about right.
I just thought it's a strange one, but it is quite. It's there. It's in your face. I wouldn't say it's up there with my favourite, but
it's probably a smell you might be more akin to the Kilimanjaro safaris.
Well, go and dig your garden. You get the same smell from doing that. Yeah, but then it doesn't do the garden, so that's maybe why it still has that air of romanticism about it,
So I might have to do soaring this year,
just to smell the earthy smell.
I don't really remember any of the smells.
Well,
Becca, it's worth doing. Just for the intro video, just for just to go through the whole intro video, and then just. Because it's just like it is just don't care. It's fast becoming. Yeah, there's not as big a queue line as there was, but it's now becoming one of those untouchable rides that exist within the whole of Walt Disney World. Because not just because of the Imagineering involved in actually building it, but because it is untouchable. It is just like. And even if you get the Eiffel Tower and you're not sat in the right place, and the Eiffel Tower is a bit wonky and things like that, but hey, we can live with that.
It's funny that we were at a Lego store the other day, and they had this Eiffel Tower, and I kept thinking that's not right. I need to make it slightly bendy.
So on the poll, the other things that came out with a couple of votes were Main Street Confectionery, which I think we mentioned earlier, although that sweet
sorry.
smell. And I think
Yeah.
is it Wendy, I think
I think you're right. Yeah.
mentioned earlier up the chat, the smell of
Yes.
popcorn and the sweet smell and
Oh, yeah.
coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me, coughing. The other things that were mentioned were Beach Club Yacht Club, the Aladdin carpet ride and Mickey's Philhar Magic, and Philhar Magic generally. So
Yes.
Be Our Guest theme.
I was going to say there is also
pie,
the smell that was the newer one, which was the cocoa scene.
Does that
Yeah.
smell?
There's
I
a
didn't
smell
recognise
that's
it.
something slightly different. Yeah,
Is it?
Yeah.
Might have been who you were sat next to, I think, babe.
Sorry about
It's the
that.
smell of dead people.
Yeah, Mexican Day of the Dead.
The monorail was on there, and then also there's a couple of resorts that have made an appearance. I added the Moana Journey of Water because I think that has that clean watery smell in comparison
Yeah.
to the
Yes.
musty watery smell.
Do you think over time it will become musty?
I
Oh, I
don't
hope
think
not.
so, 'cause
I hope
it's
not.
running water. It's flowing water, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it is
Yeah.
hyper clean because everyone's sticking their hands in it.
Yeah.
But I quite like the smell around there. It's,
And
it's
you
quite
get to walk
fresh.
through it as well.
Yeah. And then one of my other favourite smells that was on the poll that we haven't mentioned so far, and you're all going to laugh at me again, is it Tomorrowland Speedway,
Yeah.
which I love.
No.
Oh.
When you go
Oh,
over on the people move.
When people move and you just
Oh, it's just
Waft-
such a
waft of being in the
beautiful.
petrol station.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. It really is. It's
I think that's kind of a Marmite smell, isn't it? You either love it or you
Yeah.
hate it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan, but I don't like the smell of petrol.
Oh. See,
Love it.
yeah, no,
oh, yeah.
I want them to change it, but also part of me goes like, I don't think that area will be the same without the smell.
I would be very happy if they changed to electric vehicles, pumped out the sound of the cars going
Yeah.
pop, 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 and the smell it's a can off
Yes.
people of the gasoline smell. They have to have those two things, otherwise it's not a speedway.
It's not. Yeah,
And
exactly.
the parents swearing at their children for bouncing off the rails all the way through.
Well, what I don't get is like if say
Yeah, adults
it
do
got
that as well,
if it got
so-
sponsored by Tesla, the problem you're going to have is like all of them have got safety features on to stop bumping into the cars in front.
And they're
So it's
silent,
like-
so you don't know when someone's coming up beside you.
yeah, but it'll just
How are you
stop.
going
It
to
would just
scoot
be
away
like,
from them or race
Yeah.
them when you can't hear it coming?
yeah, it's just not going to work.
You
is
have
it?
those
But yeah.
ugly Tesla wagons.
Oh yeah.
I think they
They're
need to
horrible.
make them the shape of what the Cybertrucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw some
No,
of those.
it's just-
They look like something you've made on Test Track. I'm sorry,
Yes.
they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
But,
We saw a
they
yellow.
look like
We saw a yellow one of them, and you know when you're thinking, if you're spending that amount of money,
that. Oh,
why on earth?
Yeah.
Why would you buy it in yellow?
why
I've
would
just
you
no
buy it at
idea.
all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugly car.
The other problem there, though,
yeah.
Claire, and maybe nobody spotted this with the whole idea of electrifying the speedway, is if you had all that technology in place, you wouldn't be able to just go and gently bump into the car that's in front of you, be
It
it
would just
deliberately or
The
not.
bit that says no bumping.
And then, bang.
What sign? Never seen that before.
Don't read English.
Oh.
I'm just looking through the comments and it's making me laugh. Dead people smell is actually in the stretching room of Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's right.
So I was told by Morgan that Haunted Mansion has a smell.
Yeah.
I don't really recognise the Haunted Mansion having a smell.
No.
I think it's very similar to Tower of Terror.
It's
Like
very
that
musty.
Is that musty and
Abandoned.
Is that deliberate? Is that a piped in smell, or is that
yeah,
just how it smells?
I think it's deliberate, but
But is it just? See, this is the bit I actually thought about this last week, and I didn't realize it until right now. But you know when it's raining, and everyone who comes into the stretching room, it's all carpeted, and the carpet gets really damp. And so, is that actually adding to the smell within the ride? Because
Maybe.
it was after an almighty storm. And so we were stood there, and I was just very aware the carpet was absolutely wringing wet.
Sodden.
And
Yeah.
and I was thinking, how did they sort that out? Because obviously, being Florida, it's dark.
Yeah.
You've got no chance of fixing that unless you got one of them carpet cleaners out that like,
Squeegee.
suck all the suck all the moisture out of it. You got no chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wonder if it's maybe the carpet that we can smell.
See, maybe that's what they need to talk on Keys to the Kingdom tour.
Looking off the old carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. And see, now I'm going to be thinking about
We'll
that.
find that in a couple of weeks
Yeah.
when we go on there
Yeah.
and see.
Are you
So-
doing Keys to the Kingdom?
No, the Mickey's Not So Scary
No,
Halloween
oh.
party.
Oh, there you go.
The smell
See,
of
yeah.
candy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got lots of that still.
You'll have enough to next Halloween, John.
I think we might. Mind you, the way the kids are getting through it, there won't be any to last until the end of the week. It's just like it seems to be like a constant hand. It's just like,
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
happening.
But hey ho. Hey ho.
Uh, in terms of other attraction smells, what else can we pinpoint? I'm trying to think. Big Thunder Mountain has like a bit of a gunpowdery smell,
Yeah.
particularly in the queue, which is quite cool. I think that's stronger actually at Disneyland Paris than it is at Walt Disney World, and that might just be how the queue line is set up.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but
I also wonder whether a lot of the smells, especially in outdoor attractions, are impacted by a lot of Florida weather.
Yeah.
So
General.
What, like
with
my
Yeah.
the
hair?
rain and the sort of humidity and the heat,
yeah,
maybe
Just holds
it's just
it,
sometimes
maybe.
not as obvious.
Yeah.
But I love
mean,
the
that in
smell of
itself
like
is a
Florida
smell.
rainstorm.
that in itself is an iconic
isn't
smell
it just?
of Walt Disney World. Is the smell just before the rain and the smell just after the rain.
After.
Yeah. Or the smell when you step off the aeroplane. I know it's not Disney, but oh my word. You know when you come out into MCO and it's just like it just meets you and it's just like, okay, it's gonna disappear in a bit.
Yeah.
And then you get to the front door of the airport and you walk out into that intense heat and you're like, oh, that has got to be the most irreplaceable smell that you can actually ever think of. Getting that for the first time is just like bang.
Plus
Never
actually
forget it.
smelling the heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
Most humidest place on the planet. Parking garage.
Oh
You
yeah.
step out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laura has mentioned the smell of turkey legs. Iconic, not pleasant.
I've never had a turkey leg.
I'm never going to have a turkey leg.
Well, I've never had popcorn. You've never had a turkey leg. I've also never had a turkey.
I think I have had a turkey leg, but I've only ever had one once.
Are you
And
still
that's-
tasting it now?
And that's for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like it's one of them things that you put on the list that you have to tick off, and then you realise that this isn't pleasant.
Yeah. I'm trying to think through the other parks in terms of obviously when we were in Epcot last week and we went through World Showcase, the smell when they've got the smokers going outside Regal Eagle,
Oh, that was
that's
yeah.
quite intense and
Yeah.
incredible. I mean, that drifts for a long way.
Yeah.
And it's pretty great smell.
The smell of there is a smell from the Mexico Pavilion.
Oh, don't you start this.
No, there is one, but I don't
Don't
think.
start.
Yeah, it's the water from the Three Caballeros.
Yeah, the bromine.
Does my head in. For those who don't know, Jason Knapp, friend of the show, in inverted commas, who was on the 1st of September show, is the reason why it's 2 hours long. He insists emphatically that the
Really?
Mexico Pavilion has a smell. And you can smell it when you walk past on the World Showcase Promenade. You don't even need to go into literally, you get level with the Hacienda. And he's like, smell it. Can you smell it? And I'm just like, smell what? The Mexico, can you smell it? Can you smell it? I'm like, no, I can smell drunk people pouring out of the tequila place. And I can smell the elote and the enchiladas from over there. But I can't see what you're talking about. I think he's talking about the smell of the air conditioning. but I'm not entirely sure, and it's just this
There's got to be
huge
something unique about
thing
it.
that he moans about. Of course you can smell it. Of course you can smell it. No, I can't. Can anyone else? Does anyone else? Oh, Lisa Marlin's here. Lisa, have you ever smelt the Mexico pavilion?
We'll be able to tell you soon if it's authentic Mexico, because we're going to Mexico soon on our cruise.
It doesn't. I've been to Mexico. It doesn't smell like that.
Mexico
Definitely
doesn't.
No.
Oh dear. So this is really interesting because we're now in the chat. We've now got the crossover between the smell of turkey leg and the smell of candied bacon. Now this is where we're getting into the nuances of trying to split up American delicacies as well, which could take we could either insult the whole of America in one fell swoop, or we just sort of hold our nose and just ignore both of them, maybe. But yeah. And don't mention the fact that bacon needs to be done properly. Yes. That's all I'm saying.
But we've learned on this show that bacon has to be eaten with fingers. That's something that I've learned. So,
yeah.
It might have been Heather or Wendy who taught us that.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Going to try that on the cruise.
I have to try to remember that.
Yeah, don't use a knife and fork with the bacon.
So if you're walking through the cruise and you see like who's using a knife and fork for bacon?
Shrapnel across the room.
We've all done that. The first time you do it, it's like, oh.
It's like that flipper game, isn't it? Yeah, when you just like flip down, you go boing, boing, boing.
It's like you're trying to get on someone else's plate.
Hoping that you get some in return at some point in the meal. John, we had a conversation. Yes, Lisa.
There you go. Brilliant. I love that.
John, we were in the Rose and Crown and we had a conversation about that smelling like a very traditional British pub.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the restrooms.
The restrooms.
I was going to say.
The restrooms. I tell you what.
The smell of beer slops, to be fair.
I was going to say, it's built there in peanuts.
It is very much a British pub smell, and it's very, very, very well done on that footing. What I would also say that after I'd seen you, we did go and check out the newly refurbed toilets that are adjacent to the Hampton Court House.
Lovely.
Aren't they just some of the most amazing? I've got to say that
they're the nicest toilets in the UK.
I think, they're better. They're way better than any in the UK as well. I've got to say, but I didn't take pictures. So again, thinking of future shows and things like that, then obviously I'm not going to be able to share because I've got this thing about being a bloke taking pictures of toilets. It's not a good thing. But yeah, you kind of opened my eyes to a few different places that we went and spent a penny. I think that's the British way of describing it.
I don't think around the France Pavilion as well, and if there's anything, I don't think there is really round the France.
It doesn't smell very.
It's difficult with Epcot because there's so many food booths.
Yeah,
so many different, and it's
open, so it's. I wonder if she likes the smell of the fish and chips in the UK pavilion.
Salt and vinegar.
Oh. That's a good call, yeah.
Maybe I don't even notice it. I suppose you could walk around the tea garden bit and there's all those different smells there. If you actually take the time. Because there's all kinds of different herbs and things like that within there as well, isn't there? I think. Can we talk about lobbies and hotel smells?
I think we have to. Do you see how long we've resisted?
I was like, it's 20 past 9, it has to be time.
Yeah. Here we go. Right, here we go.
Time to check into our results.
So, Ben, you talked about Grand Floridian. We've already mentioned the Poly, we've mentioned the Yacht and Beach Club.
Riviera.
Tell us, the Riviera, tell us in the chat which is your favourite resort smell. If you were going to pick a resort based on the smell, which would it be?
Not All-Star Music.
It
doesn't really have a smell. It's just.
Is it that?
Not this.
I think the last time we went to an All-Star, there was the 50th celebration smell. Still lingering around.
Which was a shame because they used the same smell at every resort. So I think when we went back in 2022, that had finished, and all the resorts have got their unique smells back. So that's when we noticed it more.
Yeah. So, Lisa Milam, I love you. Because
Grandestino Tower.
the smell of Grandestino Tower is just
Amazing.
gorgeous. It's incredible smell. It's really light, it's really airy, it's very fresh, but also a little bit floral and spicy, which could be a drink. But I think it's really, really nice. Really nice resort. And Joe's mentioned Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the one I was about to bring up.
That was the one I was going to mention as well, because actually, just as a again, it's just unique, and that's the whole thing. This is what you can't replicate it. You can't really get the whole essence of it. It's when you walk in.
It, can you?
No, it's really annoying because you'd love to say, it's a smell of whatever, some essence of mint or whatever. It's not. Everything's just completely just different.
Everything.
Pine and wood and
it's lovely.
fire.
Yeah.
But then
Water,
it's elevated when you
leather.
go there at Christmas.
Yeah.
Because
There's-
you have such a different impact, and there's just something about having that huge Christmas tree.
I flip-flop between whether I think Wilderness Lodge or Animal Kingdom Lodge smells better. And those two sort of like a bit like a face-off in my brain all the time. Because
the design is very similar.
Yeah, but the smells are so different, and I love them both. And I always go, I'll do a wax melt, I'll do Animal Kingdom Lodge. And I'm like, oh no, maybe I'll do Wilderness Lodge. And I literally have every time I have the two of them there, I'm like, which one?
Yeah.
And I think probably Animal Kingdom Lodge wins more often for me. But we stayed at Wilderness Lodge for one night this last trip, and it's again tied up with that experience and the having being in there and being in that space. But I love both of those smells, but I can't choose between them. It's like choosing which is your favourite child in a cornhole game.
Yeah.
You got away with it once.
No, I know.
I'm just so glad that in a way we're not doing many parks this trip, because we get the excuse to go around the resorts a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I can't wait now. I need to go back to both Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge and compare. Even though I do have...
Well, we've got both the wax melts in the other room. We could just do that.
Yeah.
Be cheaper. Won't cost you dinner. Pop smells pretty great. I was quite surprised by the smell of Pop Century Lobby. And the Pop Century wax melt that I've got is excellent. It's bright, and it's like quite... If you imagine Pop, it's quite a bright resort, isn't it? It's like, apart from the bit that looks like Eastern European prison, it especially at night when it's lit red, it doesn't look good. 80s building, 90s buildings, I'm talking about you in case anyone wasn't sure. But the lobby area and everything Pop, it's very bright and effervescent in terms of the feel of it, and it's there's lots of neon colours and brightness about it, and the smell is very much like that. It is quite a bright smell. It's slightly fruity. I love the smell of the Pop wax melts. It's one to sort of if you need something to help you focus, that would be a great one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas Wilderness Lodge will relax me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the Pop it's a really great smell.
It just takes. That's the thing. Each of these smells, even just thinking about them, just takes you back. It's a really weird feeling because it just takes you back into a certain place. And that
Fort Wilderness have a smell.
Tri-Circle D Ranch is the smell of Fort Wilderness to me.
The smell of horses.
So the smell of horse manure is quite significant while you're waiting for the hoop-de-doo.
I don't think anyone's got that on the wax melt.
I wish it did smell of cornbread. That would be greght. But having stood outside, having checked in for the hoop a couple of weeks ago, and stood there, and there was like the hayride, like the wagon with a couple of big horses to pull that, and then there was a couple doing like the carriage rides at the other end by the playground area. The horsey smell was quite prevalent, shall we say. It was a very still evening, and that was quite overwhelming at times. And yeah, that is.
You're trying so well to be polite there.
I was trying, you know what I'm trying to say, people.
Yes.
The horse smell was strong, and they were beautiful horses. They were absolutely stunning with their hairy feet and their big hooves. But yeah, no,
Good to
I
watch
knew
a
they were
video,
there.
maybe not to get the smell.
I knew they were there. But you know, it was fun it was nice to see them, and we went and had a chat with the cast members who were looking after them, and found out all their names and what their characters were like, and you know, we had a good chat.
See, I was thinking there's a smell of the contemporary as well, but it smells a bit like Beach Club and Yacht Club. There's ever so slightly, there's something about it that I think there's possibly an ingredient in most of the deluxe resorts that just is just in each one. That I can't remember what it is, but there's something in it.
Is that not similar to the smell on like the Fiji moment in Soaring as well? There's
almost a base smell.
Yeah, it's almost like some sort of watery smell. For me, it connects to water. Which would be Beach Club, Yacht Club, and Contemporary has highlights of that within it as well. Definitely.
Yeah.
With a smell of oil from the monorail.
Yeah, we smell of peanut butter cake and Chef Mickey's if you go close enough, which I don't. Nobody
The closest I've been to
that.
Chef Mickey's is Contempo.
That's as close as you need to get.
Yeah.
There's no reason to go any closer than that. And Sean's not here, so we can say that. He's probably there.
He's probably at Chef Mickey's.
Yeah.
He probably will be.
Oh, I don't know, actually, I think it was at Whispering
Canyon earlier. Yeah, but you know.
I'm sure there'll be a trip there.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm trying to think other resorts. I don't know. Does the boardwalk have a specific smell? I don't recall the boardwalk being particularly iconic in my mind. Not as a
Only at
resort,
Christmas
but as a
when there's
smell.
gingerbread, when they've got the displays.
I think it does have a smell, but you're not totally overtaken by it. It's quite a polite one.
Yeah.
And when you go across the lake and you get to the Yacht and Beach Club, it's kind of heightened. The one at Boardwalk seems to be a little bit less sort of persuasive. I think it's probably the description. It just becomes a little bit more, it's more polite.
A bit more subtle.
Yeah.
What about in? Just trying to think in some of the other pavilions. Journey into Imagination. Ding ding ding, coffee. Is it skunk?
Skunk smell.
Oh
Skunk.
no, no.
The burnt coffee in the
Yeah.
skunk moment. Yes, that is when you know what it is and you smell it and you go, oh yeah, no, it just smells like burnt coffee. But if you don't know that's what it smells of, your brain's trying to connect the two things together and it doesn't quite match up. So
And when they turned it off during COVID and off for the first year or so after that, just like getting to that scene and like, oh, I can't smell anything.
Yeah, and that kind of that's what
worry
like-
they've got COVID.
that's what COVID smells like, people.
Oh dear.
But yes, that is definitely a smell that we all remember and know. Someone mentioned mouse gear earlier. I'm thinking about long forgotten.
Yeah.
I never thought there was a smell
never
to
forgotten
it.
smell. What?
There was.
What are you talking
Oh.
about? You need to get your senses checked.
Yes.
Mouse gear was disgusting.
Well, if I could use my time
Very-
machine, I'd go back and find the smell, but
It
Damp.
was vile.
Oh no.
It just smelled.
Yeah.
was it
Damp.
No,
It's
see,
not-
Sewage.
Oh.
It was that sewage smell.
I think
thought
it was
that-
the
I thought
toilets
that was
behind
more,
it.
I thought it was more electric umbrella, the sticky carpet, and
No,
Sticky
I
carpet
think the
smell.
smell of mouse gear was partly coming from the toilets that were behind, the ones that face onto test track.
Yeah.
And then also damp carpets and furnishings and stuff.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was truly disgusting. Much like the smell in the old meet and greet area, which just smelled of
Yes.
dirty names.
Yeah.
Communical Hall, that lovely place, doesn't smell at all, which is a bit of a shame.
It's because
that
it's
would have given it a bit of
Because there's
personality.
nothing in it.
Make it smell, then maybe we'll go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the old meet and greet with was it Mickey and Friends? I can't remember.
Yeah.
That they've replaced at Community Hall. That used to really stink. That was horrible.
That wasn't
Not
very good. Yeah.
Not good. But Mouse Gear definitely was fairly rancid. And it got worse as the day went on. And occasionally creation still smells like that.
It does.
I have that on good authority.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I actually noticed that because actually what happens is once, particularly during the height of the day when the aircon's in full effect, that's great. But at times when it gets a little bit, sort of temperature drops a little bit and the aircon isn't on full blast, the aroma starts to take it over again. And particularly if you go towards the end of park day, so about 7, 8, 9 p.m. that's the time at which you get, some things haven't changed quite as much as we thought they had done. And it was it's quite bizarre. I can
So, another smell of Epcot is sort of when you go around living with the land.
Oh, when you go through like the water rainforest scene at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm doing this because that's what the water does when you go past it. You can't see. You couldn't see my hand. I was like,
that'll look great on the
shadow puppets
podcast.
behind me. I was just like, there's a dog. Like there's a dog in the
What if you do just steal the cucumber while you're living with the land?
Oh, Ben, no. Don't even put that in anyone's mind.
How are the bananas? You need to check the bananas when you're there.
Yeah.
Next person who goes on Living with the Land, whether that be Robin or Anna or Sean or Ben, Becca, Lisa, whoever's there next, can you check how the bananas are growing, please?
In fact, that might be something we could do in the Waffles Arms. We could actually put a little stick in there, just banana watch, each and every
really
week. Whoever's in
important.
Epcot. Yeah. Because I know Morgan Josh spent their entire existence, every time they rode Living with the Land, it was
checking on the bananas.
Check the bananas.
Yeah.
Have they been harvested? Are they right?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be quite a nice one to actually. Yeah.
Banana update.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it became a thing. I've got to admit.
It became a thing, but it's funny. It was really funny. Oh, we need to keep it going. We need to have. How's the banana doing?
Yeah.
Definitely. Have we missed any specific smells? People in the chat tell us, what have we missed? There's got to be a glaringly obvious one that we've missed.
I'm not sure. Yeah, please tell us because I'm now on Etsy.
I feel like
trying to see if there's
John's looking distracted. That's because he's spending money on wax melts.
I did that last night.
Have we mentioned Main Street Bakery?
So we talked about the confectionery and
coffee.
But did we talk about the coffee and pastries
and the queue?
I'm trying to think of what I've bought before.
What wax?
I know what
wise.
Yeah, I know what one I wouldn't have bought, and that's Stitch's Great Escape.
H2O.
H2O. Yeah.
I bought a test track one, and
I've got a test track. I've still got it. I just don't
like it. It doesn't smell very nice. We've got a mousekeeping one.
Yes.
Oh, the H2O products.
Yep.
We haven't mentioned them.
Love the H2O.
And the smell of them.
We're very sad that you can no longer buy them.
Yes. And you can't even steal them anymore.
No.
Bolted in.
Deluxe Resorts, you do get the little
bottles.
Small body lotions. And
I've got a collection of those.
Me too.
This is true.
Yeah. But, where did he say Kilimanjaro Safari? Is that the truck? Is that the
no? It is. Yeah. It's the whole thing, isn't it? Yeah. And Joe, the smell of fireworks from Illuminations. Yeah. It's like the burnt out carcass of the earth.
The globe.
The globe. Yeah. It was just like.
Yes.
Yep. What?
I like that.
Just throwing it in at the end.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Smell.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know.
There you go.
We'll allow it.
Oh.
We'll
Thank you, Popping Breeze. That's a good one.
Yeah.
The other one as well to think of is actually, I think a lot of the candle makers do that Christmas shop smell as well.
Yes.
Because like it or not, it does have a certain aroma of its own. I'm not sure whether
Smells
that's
of
the
Christmas.
floor. Yeah, but there is a smell in there, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's probably
it's
just
nice.
OTT on the smell of cinnamon as
I
well.
think it's sort of pine and cinnamon.
Pine and
Yeah.
cinnamon.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
nice actually. I do like
Like
the smell
Christmas
of the
trees.
Christmas
We
tree.
have one of those as well.
Yes.
I can't think of anything that we've missed.
No.
I think we've done rather well with that, and
Yeah. Without, I mean, being polite, we're not talking about sweaty bodies and
no, we've been rather British about it all.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a nice way of doing it, you know. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
if
got a
anyone's-
different experience on the monorail.
yeah,
The Skyliner doesn't smell.
the Skyliner
Not
does
yet.
not smell.
give it a
Quite
few
right.
years. Yeah, give it a few years.
They'll
Yeah.
just speed it up to get rid of the smell quicker.
That's fun. I
yeah.
mean, the ventilation is good, so
Yeah.
maybe that has a difference.
Yeah.
Probably helps.
Right, I'm going to wrap us up because actually, there's loads of people at home who are either watching this, listening to
Right.
this, who are currently either scrambling in the back of a cupboard somewhere to find a missing candle,
Yep.
or are thinking, hang on a minute, they keep mentioning all these candles things. I've never known this was a thing. And are currently Google searching
Yeah.
so many different candle companies. There is no way that, it depends on where in the world you live as to how you can easily get things delivered. There was a company that I used in the past, which was very good, but they come in glass canisters. So the packaging tends to be quite big. So do not buy something from the US if you live in the UK. There are UK shops, and vice versa. If you live in the US, there are shops across there. So you don't pay an absolute fortune for shipping.
There's
I'll
also
say-
a store in Disney Springs. Is it?
Yeah.
There is at the back of the Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very expensive.
Yes.
It is.
good,
It's more.
But
It is
very-
good,
yeah.
but it's more expensive than what you can get online.
It's the only place I could find an accurate Grandestino Tower one.
that's what I bought in there as well.
Yeah.
But I
There you go, inside
search,
knowledge there, like,
I continue to search for an alternative
Yeah.
that doesn't cost the earth.
What I'll
Yeah.
do is after the show, maybe tomorrow, I'll share a picture in the Waffler's Arms of the collection of wax melts we've still got.
I've got so many. I've got like a stack.
I've got actual candles, a stack of. They belong in that cupboard behind me across there, and it's like one for every occasion. And there's some that I've bought that are really like. I even bought a writer's stop one, but didn't smell like the writer's stop. It was just like it was too overpowering
Sweet.
for the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too smoky.
I had
And so
the, I
there's
had
some
the
that you don't-
spray, the room spray. I know
Yeah.
the one you're talking about, but it
Yeah.
wasn't accurate.
And it was just overpowering. So
I do-
again, just if you want one, go for something that you really love
Yeah.
to start with, and see if the actual company that are producing the candle actually provide that sort of footprint that you actually would recognise. So that's my only advice, because I've used a few.
I've still got a couple of the I think they're the room sprays that are unopened. They're probably gone off by now. Of the old Disneyland hotel at Disneyland Paris
wow.
smell, because
Wow.
that used to have a most amazing smell.
That'll be
Put it on
that
eBay.
collector's
That makes
item
some
on
money.
eBay.
Right?
that,
That's
yeah.
what I was just thinking. I just realised I've got them. They're in
Yeah.
the spare bedroom. Because I used to. This is so sad. When Anna used to come stay, I used to spray it all around the room because she liked Disney Paris. So I've still got those. And now they've changed the hotel.
Yeah.
They've changed the smell.
Collector's
wow.
item.
So
It's
yeah.
like, do you
maybe-
remember the person that bottled water from Pirates and tried to put it on eBay?
Is that the same person who stuck their face in it in
Might have
Disneyland
been.
last week?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Yes, I was. Look on TikTok, people, it's all there. I'm sure maybe the same person that swam across rivers of America, that affected him somehow.
That's
and I
why it's
did-
changing.
Yeah.
I did wonder, John, whether we should have started the show like Bear in the Big Blue House, like doing a big like snip on
Oh.
the screen. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that you? Have
What-
you
what's
been
that?
to
Yeah,
Polynesian
what's that?
recently?
Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Is that?
Yeah.
Is
Right,
that you? I can smell.
Yeah. Have you had cinnamon roll? That was where I was thinking I thought that was what you were going to start with. I was slightly disappointed.
Mr. Chance there, Claire. I was being very.
I saw Bear in you behind you.
I'd be really professional and now approach the start of the show. it just degenerates into chaos and madness and things like that.
I have nothing to do with it.
Oh,
Sorry,
dear.
you were trying to wrap us up.
No, I wasn't. I'm just aware that I can talk all night about stuff. I quite enjoy this on a Wednesday. If anyone wants to, we have got a 10% off code at Magic Park Sense, who are friends of ours. Just be aware, there's not much in their store at the moment. I think they are on the restock. So when you click on and you look at, you can put in the GB Mickey Waffle in the promo code as a promo code. There's not much in there, so you might have to go and search a little bit wider. So just saying that. But Etsy's got loads of stuff. The best candle smells take you back to your happy place, and hopefully over the course of the last hour and 10 minutes, we've actually maybe been able to take it a little bit closer to. Now, I'm still in that bit where I still want to be there, so I'm going to probably light at least 3 beach club candles or something like that, just to completely annihilate the thought of everything. But anyway, we're back. We aim to do this every single week when we go live. It might be Wednesday, might be random times during the week, but we also have 2 podcasts a month. Go and check out the podcast that came out just the other day, because it's rather good. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future shows, especially since Ben and Becca are going away, and Ben and Becca tend to just, I can be at work.
Can't stop themselves.
And someone just decides to just...
We've got no Wi-Fi. We're going
there you go. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's even better then.
We're not going to any park.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're not going to any park.
We're just going to any parks. Now we're going to.
Was it Mickey's Not So Scary,
Epcot,
and the 2 Universal Parks?
There you go. Sorted.
You never know when they're going to pop up.
I bet you they will.
That's a park light trip for us.
Yeah.
It certainly is. But if you've enjoyed talking about the smells of Walt Disney World, next week we are going to go that little bit further into Imagineering abyss, because we're going to be talking about ride vehicles. And actually, when I know someone's probably at home going, what? When you start looking at it, some of the most amazing bits of every Disney park throughout the whole world is based around the ride vehicles. It is going to be sort of a real look at Imagineering, some of our personal favorites, and it will be such a fantastic show. We might dip into some of the Imagineers as well, because I've got this image of Bob Gurr in my head as well now, which we might bring to life sort of Bob Gurr's 90th birthday drive down Main Street in California. I'm going to go and dig out the candles. Make sure you check out all our socials at GB Mickey Waffle. Remember to like and subscribe. We do like it when you do. It's good. But until we meet again next Wednesday, thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
See you real soon.
See you soon.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down